Hi, I'm Craig, film enjoyer living in England, and this week I discovered that I have a Japanese bum. I'm not going to explain it any further, but my bum is Japanese.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. No,
Uh,
back up. That does require some further explanation, I think.
I've seen some of the bums in Dave's pick, and they are my bum is very flat. I don't have any shape to my bum.
but so is the English. There's
Stephanie
an
says they're like
Englishman.
Scotch pancakes, two Scotch pancakes next to each other,
Okay.
and I saw many of those bottoms in Dave's pick. And I was like, "Yep,
Yeah, but one
I've
of them
got
was
Japanese
English.
butt
I mean, I
cheeks."
think it's just you just have a generic dude butt. You have not
Yeah, I hope
exercised them
so.
like Tyler. Tyler's got Nash you can bounce quarters off of. I'm Dave Gray, and this week I got to tell everybody that Tyler has an ass you can bounce quarters off of.
I
I'm
got one you
Tyler
can flip
Haas.
quarters into.
I mean,
There's
my
a
ass
slot
is
for
all right.
that. Yeah, you know,
It's
it's a
an
good
all right
one.
ass. It's an okay white boy ass. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just a generic white boy ass. But but I'm Tyler Hosley, and if you were a flower, you'd be a damned lion.
Nice. T, I just need you to know that my love for you is like pie, irrational and never ending.
Right back at you, Dave.
I'm Kevin Matthews, Scottish film fan living in England, and this week, as sweet and lovely as he is, and we know him to be, I'd like Tyler to know that once again, I was watching his choice for the podcast, and Vicky said to me, "What are you watching?" I took my headphones off, and there was some arty visuals, but the background noise was just a porn playing as a movie within the movie. And Vicky said to me, "A Tyler choice." And I said, "Yes. Yes, you're correct. That is how well known your branding is, Tyler." And this is Raiders of the Podcast.
Woo!
Yay.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I've had that happen with a child, so you know, it makes
Like
it worse.
people who have a passing acquaintance with tea nowadays just know. They just know. Right. I got a lot watched this week, but I'll maybe start with the one that we might all want to jump in on, I guess, or a few of us. The Bride. The Bride was a big
I saw The
film
Bride.
I watched. Yeah. Did you like The Bride as much as Tyler, Dave?
No, I did not like The Bride as much as Tyler, Kevin.
No, I didn't like The Bride as much as Tyler either, Dave. I don't think many people like The Bride as much as Tyler, but it was a big mess. Like I appreciate your appreciation of it, T, and I get what you would dig from it, but for me, like it was a big mess that I really. I mean, I'm assuming you really like the actual just the attempted big swing as well for the most part.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That that did not work for me at all, and it worked less because there was like one or two really good moments there that are then lost in the shuffle of everything else that makes like that moment where she's in a room and just calling out like victims of abuse and who's done what. That was great, and I was like, this is like if that's her sort of thing that has everyone, well, has men more afraid of her and has them turning her into some kind of public enemy number one. I was like, that is a great idea. It just got lost in the mix. I think it was trying to be a little bit too cutesy, a little bit too clever. I didn't actually appreciate Buckley's performance. I just and then I mean, many other people have said it, but if you're bringing along all the baggage from the Frankenstein tale and various movie versions, and you have the audacity to then sort of move into a young Frankenstein moment. You need to absolutely like nail somehow that jelly to the ceiling, and I just don't think Maggie Gyllenhaal like succeeded in that. Think it was a big mess. The big swing did not work for me at all, which is a shame because like I know you would have liked to see it do well and do better for like just success for female directors, especially with genre work. And Gyllenhaal's done, was it The Lost Daughter that she did before? That I think
Yeah.
went down quite well
Yep.
as a Netflix film. So who knows? She's still got enough friends and connections to maybe not immediately lose her entire directorial career, as happens with many women who make one stumble compared to guys who can fail again and again and again. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Her one stumble was so expensive. Like, and I'm not saying she
Yeah.
shouldn't be able to
Yeah.
make a movie again. I don't believe that. She should definitely get another chance. But it was so expensive. It was like a $90 million movie that lost over $100 million when you take in like advertising and stuff.
But that's not much compared to how much upwardly failing white guys have lost.
I know,
comes
because
to
they're
movies. I
upwardly
know what
failing
you're
white
saying,
guys. It
yeah.
doesn't count for some fucking reason. And we've had that discussion a lot. And we're going to have that discussion again in the near future. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. But like women that make successful movies can't get a second one done for decades at a time. So
I know.
it's
depressing.
fucking Hollywood.
Let's move on. Another person who seems to keep failing upwards, not in a directorial capacity, but as a star. And although this is an audio medium, I am putting quotation marks on star, is Chris Pratt, who is in Mercy. And I took one for the team and sat down to watch Mercy.
Huh.
And it is every bit as bad as you have heard.
Nobody
Well,
had
at
heard
one
it
point
was
did you
bad because
go,
nobody else saw it. You're the only person that we know that saw it.
Well, look, it's so bad that the only person I've heard say a good word about it so far is Jose from Watch Skip Plus. So there you go. That's how bad it is. He's like he's
No
their version of Tyler for
Dude.
some of the wild takes.
I don't get how you can be attracted to Chris Pratt enough to say anything nice about him. The man.
oh, he's attracted to everyone though. It'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
I watched
I mean, that's
Happiness,
true, but
I just
like-
can't get enough
like-
of
we need an intervention, and we should contact and schedule that soon, because it's getting out of hand now.
I was talking about how sexy Ted Levine was last week, so it's.
But you were
Fine.
right. I mean, that's different.
Mercy is just like really bad, and a large percentage of the runtime is Chris Pratt sat on a chair trying to emote, which really, really just proves how he cannot act in a standard dramatic role. And then it's got Rebecca Ferguson as this AI judge who, has access to every communication device that's hooked up to her and is there to lay down the law and tell him the rules and keep things within certain parameters. But if Chris Pratt says he just wants to follow a hunch, she'll suddenly be like, and what is this hunch you speak of? Like, you have access to the worldwide internet. You can Google fucking hunch and see it's not just about Quasimodo. It's just ridiculous. It's that level of sloppy awfulness. Like, really, really bad. And yeah, the only sort of saving grace is I didn't make Vicky sit through it. I told her I was watching it while she was away for an evening, and I messaged her immediately. I was like, it's so awful. I've saved you that one. And she sent me back lots of laughing faces. Another one that is kind of awful, but in a good way, is Thrash that dropped on Netflix just yesterday, I think. Have you seen the trailer for Thrash?
I've seen the
have.
first 20 minutes of Thrash, and then I was out.
So it's basically Crawl, but there are sharks. So there's a flooded town and there are sharks. Not only that, there's a pregnant woman trapped in a car. There is a large truck that just has meat written on the side that is caught up in the flood and gets involved in a crash. So you've
Yeah,
got
but
meat and blood. going
it's
into
not it's not like a truck. It's not a normal truck that's carrying stuff in the back. It's a tanker truck.
Yeah, it's like an oil tanker because that's how you transport all of your meat goods. Great, didn't you know
Yeah.
that?
I mean, that's how I transport my meat.
So at that point, I'm like, all right, I get that this is prime silliness. This could be okay, and it was like it's every character and how their stories are going to play out. It doesn't really skimp on the sharks once they start appearing, so that's kind of fun. At least it doesn't keep them sort of hidden away and play coy with them all the way through. I didn't realize this was directed by, I think it's Tommy Wirkola, who did
Yeah, I like Tommy Wirkola.
yeah, he did the Dead Snow movies, didn't he? And Violent Night.
He did.
So
Hansel and
it's
Gretel Witch Hunters, which I liked.
yes, it's a shame that this wasn't kind of a bit bloodier, really, and just maybe a bit more willing to throw even more people around on screen to get them ready to be shark meat. But what is on there is kind of fun. I think it's just under 90 minutes. It is ridiculous. The acting isn't great. Once again, like you know is it 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Is that the game? Well, with Vicky, there's a kind of 6 Degrees of Fast and Furious franchise, but it's really just like 1 degree because her memory is so bad. But if anyone has been in a Fast and Furious movie, so Jimon Hunzu's in this, and I'm like, she goes, "Oh, I recognize him," and I said, "Oh, he was in he had a little role in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think he was in Amistad. He was in the island." She's like, "No, no, no," and she turns to me and she goes, "Did he try and steal God's eye?" I'm like, "What?" That's right. Yeah, I think he's the guy that tried to steal God's eye in the Fast and Furious movies. And I've gone blank with those. I can't keep up with the weird plot twists and turns they do to pack everything. I'm like, I don't know. So she then has to obviously immediately look him up while watching the film. And it is, I can't remember his character name, but that is like, if Vicky's ever on Mastermind, it's what tenuous connection can you find from any film to any of the Fast and Furious movies. I've got used to her just turning to me sometimes going, "Oh, it's the Drift King." I'm like, "What?" And then it'll be the Drift King from Fast and Furious movies. Anyway, sorry, tangent. Sharks were fun. Last, I think, but not least, I know I tripped up on this last week. I did an overdue rewatch of Something Wild, which is a lot of fun. I think most people still hold that up in quite high regard. It's one of the Jeffs. Is it Daniels?
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels thing. Really was great in it. Melanie Griffith is wonderful in this, and I think a few months ago was when I rewatched Working Girl. I hadn't seen that for years, and just like it's weird to see films with Melanie Griffith as a wonderful kind of normal looking sexy young woman compared to like how that perception has changed over the past few decades. It's bizarre because you watch Something Wild, she is kind of, meant to lured Jeff Daniels there. That is the beginning of the antics. Things go along. She is someone that he is drawn to. She is, she's got this energy and she's got sexiness about her. And I'm watching it and I'm like, yes, Melanie Griffith is great in that role. She was great in her role in Working Girl. I think she works in a lot of the roles she was picked for. I'm thinking if they, remade or reworked any of these movies today, like it's just awful to think they would probably view actresses who look like Melanie Griffith and they would think they were too old. They would think they weren't, looking either thin enough or they weren't buff enough, or it's just this bizarre warping of the ideal image that has happened over the years. And I kind of find strange comfort now in those 80s to early 90s movies where even though they were still movie stars, they kind of still looked more like normal people compared to the starlit star roles you get today. I don't know if I made any sense with that statement. I hope
Yeah,
I
you
have.
did, you did.
And I hope I've done it without
understood.
offending.
I wasn't listening, but I understood.
Was that Ray Liotta's first movie? Was that his debut? Because he's fucking incredible in that film.
I can't recall. I did read that he got the role because I can't remember if someone else dropped out or there was someone not working, and Melanie Griffith recommended him. I think they'd worked together either in theatre or were at the or were at some classes together. So it's kind of thanks to her that he got a role, and he's just fully formed Ray Liotta in it. It's brilliant, and again, like he's cool and dangerous in Goodfellas, and he's cool and dangerous in Something Wild, but Something Wild, it's something about the texture of it. When you see him in the earlier scenes as well, maybe not everyone, but I'm there thinking, my God, really, I was such a damn handsome man. Like,
oh yeah.
If he wasn't so good at playing really wonderful grinning psychos, basically, it's weird to think that he could have been the polished, shined up, smooth lead, I reckon. But maybe there would always be that hint of danger in his eyes. That was it. You all like Something Wild, don't you? We can stay friends. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It's not quite a one crazy night film, but I include it on my list of favourite one crazy night films. It's close enough, Someone just going on a short, random wild adventure.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think Melanie Griffith is really weak in it, but Jeff Daniels is a lot of fun.
I thought she was very good in it. I don't know if I had any stronger opinions on it the first time I saw it, because that would have been many years ago when I was a younger movie fan. And as I say, I think it's one of those films as well that has aged better because of the choices made that I would assume would be made very differently nowadays in a number of ways. Even the way it sort of kind of levels up the danger. Like as Craig said, although it's not quite a one crazy anything, it does feel almost like a soft, cuddly companion to say After Hours or something like that. But
it's a perfect companion to I say After Hours or Miracle Mile. It goes really nicely with either of them.
Yeah. But it levels up the danger and leads to, I actually forgot how the last sort of few scenes played out. So I appreciate it more for that.
Wasn't Ray Liotta's first movie Lonely Lady, the Pia Zadora flick? Which we have not watched enough Pia Zadora movies.
Quite possibly, I might have got that all wrong. I mean, it might be that it's a film that Scorsese saw that he, turned onto Liotta or something. I remember reading something about it, and I might have just got it asked backwards. So ignore me.
I
Not
would
completely.
have no idea, particularly if it was a Pia Zadora movie. I think the only Pia Zadora movie I have seen is that Funky Christmas one.
No, that's not true. That's not true. You've also seen.
What have you made me watch, Steve? What have you done to me?
How do you know
Santa Claus conquers the Martians? Santa Claus conquers the
Santa
Martians.
Claus conquers the Martians. But that's not the only one. That's not the only one. You also saw Voyage of the Rock Aliens, Kevin. You also saw Voyage of the Rock Aliens, which is a goddamn classic.
Yeah. I mean that was That was better than Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
I mean, debatable, but sure.
I mean, it was. Anyway, that was. I think that was me done.
Well, Kevin is not the only one because I also watched Mercy. But yeah, Kevin is totally right. It's just a big old pile of shit. I watched it because I like a lot of the director's stuff. Night Watch and Wanted Dude. I will not pronounce his name because it will sound terrible. But
Yeah.
I like a lot of his stuff. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter is a lot of fun. I liked him at the beginning. This movie is just god awful though. Like I don't even really dislike Chris Pratt as an actor. Like if the stuff that I've seen him in, like I like Passengers, and I mean he's not like my favorite actor, but I don't find him unwatchable. But he's unwatchable in this. He's fucking terrible in this. Everybody's fucking terrible in this. It's a terrible movie, and it's such a lazy piece of shit. I can't even believe they allowed this in theaters because it's really super lazy. It's a bad movie, awful. But to the good stuff. I'm going to say very little about this next movie because the moment this hits digital, we are watching it on here. Like the second it hits the fucking internet, we're watching it. But I went to the opening night movie of the Florida Film Festival last night, and I saw Adam Raymeyer's new movie, Carolina Caroline. I got to see his Q&A afterwards too, which was awesome. He's a really awesome dude. But if you don't know who he is, he directed The Bunny Game, one of my all-time favorites. We covered that on here. Dinner in America, fantastic. I think we covered that on here as well. And Snack Shack.
Because that was we covered Dinner in America before it was released in America.
Yeah, we did. That is a fantastic movie, and Snack Shack.
Basically, you can tell Rimmer that we championed it, Tyler, and that is your in to start full on stalking him for a while.
Could have, but he didn't. He didn't even think of that.
You know what's funny? I expected there be no questions about the Bunny Game, but there was like 10 questions last night about the fucking Bunny Game. It was crazy.
And then they were like,
Tyler's there.
Gentlemen, could you please lower your hand? You've asked your 10 questions. And Tyler was ejected from the cinema.
It's funny. I know the guy that runs the Q&A. I know him. He runs the Enzion Theater. Super nice guy. Tim Anderson, great dude. But I was talking to him before the screening of it, and he walked over to me and goes, he goes, I know you fucking love the Bunny Game, right? And I'm like, hell yeah, I love that fucking movie. It's one of my favorites. But yes, Carolina Caroline is his continuation of doing quirky. This isn't quirky. This is just a crime romantic Southern fried version of Bonnie and Clyde in a way. And it's got a soundtrack that's just filled with classic country tunes. I mean, the movie opens with Loretta Lynn, and I was like, yeah, that warmed my heart. Just it's so good. Kyle Gallner and Samara Weaving are incredible together in this. They just play off each other so well. It's to the point that you're watching them. I know they're not together in real life, but you're like watching them and you want them to be together in real life because they have such great chemistry together. It's such a good movie. And it takes the tropes of everything that I love in like Lovers on the Run, Bonnie and Clyde style crime dramas and just rolls it into one. I loved it. But yeah.
Gallner and Weaving are like, they're my favourite actor and actress who are at that level, if you know what I mean, and starring in those kinds of films at that level. So if they work together, I'm really excited for that because I just love both of them, and yeah, seeing them together will be great.
Yeah, I cannot. You guys, I think honestly, you guys will all dig this movie. It's got a lot of heart. It's really sweet, but it also gets dark too, which not surprising coming from the filmmaker. But it's really good, and I can't wait to watch it again. But yeah, that's me.
I mostly watched some TV this week, but as Kevin brought up, I did watch The Bride. I didn't hate The Bride. I sort of respect it, but not really. Like it's definitely a swing. It's a swing for the fences, and I give it credit for that, but it's just kind of bland corporate shit. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't really do anything. Tyler swore to me that was the most feminist film in years, and I'm going to say it's not at all a feminist film because they remove all agency from our lead character. At no point does she make a choice to do anything except call herself the bride in the last reel. And that's fucking dumb. Anytime she does anything, it's one of the, other people inhabiting her body with her because she's possessed by multiple people doing it. So she never remembers it. She doesn't do anything. It's not yay ladies to take away her choices at all turns. Like, and that's the thing where it's like, oh, well, they took them away before and that's a bad thing. But now, like, this is supposed to be better, but it's not better. You're being ridden by a fucking deity named Mary Shelley that they didn't even understand Mary Shelley a little, but that's neither here nor there. That doesn't really matter. Just a point that it undercuts it. She never makes a choice. She never gets a relationship or a personality. The only reason she is with Frank at all is because he is just fucking there. And Frank is the biggest incel in a movie I've watched in years. He just demands love because he's a man who's tired of being sad and lonely. I get it. Maggie Gyllenhaal saw Poor Things, Gaspar Noé's Climax, and Joker and threw them in a blender and had nothing to say or add to it. But when, hey, isn't this a fun idea? And, like, okay, it's a mess. It's a nice looking mess, but like, that's it. I understand if you enjoy it as fun, but folks trying to push it as something more just kind of boggle my mind, if I'm being honest. It's $90 million of capitalism trying to set up a faux feminist icon because they thought they could sell t-shirts. And that's just it. It kind of fails on every level for me. The production design is really good. The cinematography is really good. I actually liked Buckley, but like, her role is so all over the place that I'm not going to say that like it's good, but she was able to do it and keep up with it. A lot of other actors I feel would have gotten kind of drowned in the back and forth and been unable to keep all the different voices consistent. And she does that. So I think it's actually a really impressive performance. It's kind of just a fart smelling, pretentious swing for the fences. I mean, like, what's with all the Melville and Shakespeare quotes? I mean, and making the fucking Romeo and Juliet allegories. That's not Romeo. Like, it very much reeks of high school drama club bullshit. But you're an adult. You should have a better understanding of these things now. And that's my problem. Again, I respect what they're going for, but it's just capitalism checking off their, not feminist condescension to try to sell bullshit, and it doesn't work for me at all. Again, I think she should get another try. I liked her other work, but this one just does not work for me. And the fact that it was such a wild and expensive swing that bombed so hard means that it's pretty much murdered anything else from following it in the wake of Barbie. And I had problems with Barbie also, but like it's like it feels like she purposefully tanked it for money. Studios finally went, oh, we can make sort of feminist films and make a lot of money. And then they went, oh, no, we can't let that stand. So the whole thing just leaves me with a really bad taste in my mouth.
I watched the 2024 Belgian thriller Night Call. That was really solid. At first anyway, it's a really good kind of. It's one of those long nights in hell films, just almost real time, everything going to shit kind of movies, and it's basically about a locksmith who opens the wrong door and finds himself on the hook for a mobster's missing money. And it's impressive for the most part. Like, it's really well paced, like economic as hell. It just hits the ground running. Camera work is really, really slick. There are really suspenseful chases. There's quite weighty, quite mean action to it. There's a great lead performance from Jonathan Feltrer, who I fear I'll never see again because he made the classic mistake of just being Belgian. So I think this is like the second Belgian film I've ever watched. The first two acts were really strong, and I was really digging it, but it falters in the third act in multiple ways, including like it's a real damp squib of an ending, and it feels like maybe it was even left a little open-ended in hopes of a sequel, but I don't know whether it's coming or not, but it's not a satisfying ending. It's definitely worth a watch overall. If you saw the French thriller Sleepless Night, which is excellent, it's better than this, but they're kind of similar movies in a way. So I think if you enjoyed Sleepless Nights, you'll get something out of this too. It's not bad. It's just wish that third act had landed better. Then I watched the 2023 comedy drama Dumb Money, which is a dramatisation of the infamous 2021 GameStop short squeeze. That was okay. Like, I don't know how much the world needed a dramatisation of the event when, you can read like 1 billion articles on it online, which will be a lot more interesting, to be honest. But I don't know. We as a people, we like to see Paul Dano win almost as much as we'd like to watch Seth Rogen lose. So I do get the appeal of that. It is perfectly entertaining. It has a really solid cast. It also has Pete Davidson, but otherwise it has a really solid cast. But I found myself disliking it more and more and more and more and more after it finished because I don't know. It wasn't passing the smell test. I felt like it was a little selective about who it spanks and how hard it spanks them. I mean, and that's at best. At worst, it felt a bit like a cinematic chew toy for the working class people who got fucked by this whole thing. If these events had been left to marinate in the public consciousness for like a decade or so, and then the film was made, we might have something a bit closer to, say, The Social Network. We might have a relatively, relatively interesting film. But I don't know, it's kind of like Anora is winning Oscars, and this is in its own way the same story as Anora if you do it properly. It's a story of capitalism making a great many promises and keeping none of them. There's a great story there, but this feels like it was rushed out and only taken half seriously because a film of this event was inevitable, and this version, because it comes so soon after, it's kind of sweeping the whole mess under the rug. Where it should be, it should have come later, should have been like a little celebration of collective action, but it feels almost like the people who got fucked by this short squeeze thought, right, we don't want people watching a film of this in 10 years and getting pissed off all over again and fucking us again. Let's get this film out, let's get it seen, and then let's forget about this whole ugly situation. And because of that, it's a passable movie, but it filled me with deep suspicions as to its function as a movie. I got real kind of I got deep into this one on a kind of tinfoil hat kind of level. So I don't know. Did anyone else see Dumb Money? And does anyone agree with me? I know Dave will. Come on, Dave.
Yeah, I saw it. I do. I also read the book it's based on. Which, do you know how long it was between the actual short squeeze and the book coming out?
How long?
7, 8 months. The book was released in September. And they were starting to film the movie by I think January of the next year. It was no time whatsoever.
You see, I may be giving people too much credit, and it might have just been, let's make a movie of this before people actually forget about it and it's no longer profitable, which seems more like Hollywood actually just being dumb and wanting to make a few bucks.
No, but the book definitely had that feeling too. It was long, it was wobbly, it really had a big hard-on for the alt finance geeks. But they're not the good guys in this. The good guys were the random Redditors that jumped on because they thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, it is a really good story. I would have loved to have seen a really good film that was taken seriously. But this isn't really it. But Paul Dano is really good, and most of the cast are decent, and like I said, Pete Davidson.
It was the Kevin Seven, Craig.
Yeah, it was a Kevin Seven. Well, you know what?
No, that is being way too kind. That is just too kind.
Objectively, maybe a Kevin 7 or a 6, but I'm really suspicious about his motive, so he's getting a 0. That's how suspicious I got. Like deeply, deeply suspicious. But hey. One more. I watched the classic, I mean, I think we covered this before, the classic 1985 action film Police Story. We've done Police Story, haven't we?
Really can't
We have.
remember.
Yeah, no, we have. We did the first one, and I don't remember if we did Super Cop. We've talked about Super Cop. I don't remember if we actually covered it.
I'm not sure. Well,
Yes,
Police
but
Story is...
according to Dave, we've covered like every film from the last 50 years. So,
Oh, Dave's Secret Podcast.
I have never
Yeah.
said that. I wish we had.
It's not on the list, Dave. I'm just
Are you
saying.
sure? I
Why don't you
swear
put...
to
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you pull this shit with Tyler? You know, he says, "Oh, we're going to watch one of my favourites." You be like, "Oh no, Tyler, sorry.
I know.
So we've already watched that. Oh, who did that one?
Use your mind powers for the
Could have
good.
saved us." But no. Okay, whatever.
The fact that I can remember that we watched any movie is a small miracle. So many of them just... We've watched Jackie Chan movies where he's a cop. Isn't that just Police Story? I mean,
I can't
let's
even think of
Uh-huh.
Jackie Chan movies we've watched. We watched one of the Lucky Stars movies that you dislike.
We did.
It might have been the first one, and I know that would have been my fault. But I can't remember like many others that we've actually watched. Probably because I guess we've all thought there might not be much to say apart from, oh, those stunts were really good, or we liked that fight. Possibly.
Well, I don't recall covering Super Cop, but we've definitely done this one. I'm 99% sure. And yeah, it says obviously it's still great. I mean, a lot of it is kind of set in stone great because Jackie Chan has proven to be one of the most disappointing humans of all time, which really makes me sad. But also, you can't argue the strength of his like performance and his directing here. You just can't. You just can't. He's unimpeachable. He is the Buster Keaton of the latter half of last century. He just is. Fights are fucking great. Like martial arts movies, sometimes they're so over choreographed. They come off more like dance scenes a lot of the time, and it kind of aggravates me. But these are fights. These are fights, and people are getting hurt, and they're inventive and they're brutal, and they're fucking fast, man. The kicks and shit in it are so fast. Like if you sneeze, you'll miss 2 or 3 like eye-watering kicks to someone's head. Like these are some of my favourite screen fights. They're so well done. Stunts are incredible. This film should have come with like it should have had a coffin budget, or at least like a funeral budget. Maybe pay for some, picky food at the funeral of its stuntmen. Like it really puts them through the ringer, and the stunts are so good. My only issue I have is with the comedy, and like it really depends on my mood. With a lot of Hong Kong flicks that have that sort of comedy, like when I watched this for the podcast, I was stony faced during every comedy scene. I was not in the mood for it. I was like, fuck this shit, go back to kicking each other. This time I enjoyed pretty much all of them. So I must have just been in a much, much better mood. I enjoyed pretty much all of them, apart from the one with Chan answering multiple phones, which that shit is the most painful thing in this movie. And I'm including the end gag reel where people are like breaking limbs. It is awful. It's so dated and so icky. It's a genuinely horrendous scene, which may have served as a warning that Jackie Chan was actually a pretty awful guy. But yeah, other than that, Police Story rules, and I'm going to watch the second one this week and probably squeeze in Super Cop as well. But yeah, that's me for the week.
This week, we watched the... Oh, I have it up here. I gotta pull up the tab. The 1992 Japanese sumo film Sumo Do, Sumo Don't, and the 1998 independent drama Johnny 316. And that is right. There's no colon, so it's not Johnny 316. Hey, Craig?
Yes?
Would you like to pick a movie and tell us about it?
Sure. I'll go with Johnny. What are we saying again? Johnny
It's
316.
316. I mean,
316.
I would say
it's supposed.
it's 316, but yeah,
There's no colon, so it's not 316.
I'm saying Johnny 316 because it just makes sense. But hey, I
Yeah,
get it.
because that's what they're going for, but they didn't put the colon in. It's not my fault they fucked up their own title.
No, you're not wrong.
Came so close to making jokes about your upcoming operation then. Dave.
Look,
they forgot to put the colon in. There's no colon.
I know it's so much trouble.
But I don't want to freak you out, so let's pretend I didn't even mention it. Didn't even mention your colon. I suppose I've got to do a plot, haven't I? Johnny 316 is about a troubled young woman on the streets who falls in love with a peculiar street preacher, and some events follow. I kind of liked this movie. It makes me feel a little dirty, but that is my truth. For tea, it's my gospel tea. My gospel. I liked it. I do feel dirty, but I liked it. Like, if this had been 15, 20 minutes shorter, I might have actually loved it. But saying that, if it was 15 to 20 seconds longer, I might have started to hate it. I feel like 77 minutes is my hard limit for like pretentious art school biblical parables with like 10 minutes of actual narrative spread so thin it can't be seen with the naked eye. Like, it could not have been a second longer, or I really might have turned on it, but it worked out. Like, it is 100% style over substance, like non-existent substance, but the style, like, I'm kind of in love with the style. Like, I know for a lot of people, peak cinematic style is whatever gets Roger Deakins' dick hardest, and I don't agree, because when Deakins gets those like blue veins are popping, it's pretty magical. I love to see an erect Roger Deakins, but subjectively, I'm such a whore for 16mm film and location shooting. You put those things together, and it looks and feels like life, even if there isn't that naturalism to the script or the performances. You put 16mm and location setting shooting together, and it just has that feeling that I love. So for me, like, visually, this is unimpeachable. This is almost as good as movies get for me, and just my personal taste in what I like visually from a movie. Like the grit in the grain, like the way the colors pop, like the stunning close-up photography is really, really beautiful. It gave me really strong silent movie vibes, like the Passion of Joan of Arc vibes. Like those close-ups are absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's all beautiful. The whole film for me is a beautiful, beautiful film. I think the really eclectic soundtrack choices are stunning too. They go really well with the visuals. The editing is absolutely world class for me. Like, not just visually, but the way the audio is edited in as well. Like the way it chooses to mute the dialogue on occasion and then bring it back in, and then concentrate on the soundtrack. And it just, I don't know. I thought the editing was really fantastic. I genuinely think that this film it's a low-key technical marvel. Like, I was so in love with the technique, but I looked past a lot. Like, the leads are passable at best. I think they had less than nothing to work with, so I can't really blame them. But they're passable at best. Seymour Cassell and Louise Fletcher, they're wasted. The script, it's got strong a group of meth heads hassling you for bus fare vibes. It doesn't have any sort of real flow to it. It doesn't feel authentic. It's just kind of nonsense. But I don't know. This will surprise no one, but least of all Dave. But I have not read or witnessed the Oscar Wilde play that this is based on. But I'm assuming it had actual substance that was excised surgically from Johnny 316. Like, it's like someone was told to go in there and get all of the substance out of this thing, and they did cleanly, which is something. But even with that, like, I was so enamored and like besotted with the visuals and the soundtrack, but I didn't care. Like, I think watching this film is probably no different to dating Vincent Gallo. You can stare longingly at how beautiful it is, but if you spend more than 77 minutes with it, you realise how pompous and vapid and devoid of authentic human emotion it is. But it is very, very pretty, like Vincent Gallo. But you know, it complete. I can find myself. I would watch this again, quite happily, just with an hour or so to spare, just to enjoy the visuals. I'd watch it in its, you know, it's the place where it really needs to be, like projected onto some weird, like, hipster studio in a meatpacking district somewhere where, you know, it's a nice looking piece of art which I will enjoy again as just a nice looking piece of art, not as a story, not even really as a film. It's a very long music video or perhaps perfume advert that I just happened to line up with my personal, you know, the aesthetics that I love.
So, have you guys ever heard the term Dance of the Seven Veils?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That originates from the Oscar Wilde play that this is heavily inspired by, Salome, which is, of course, taken from biblical stories in... I will remember it because I do know this. Matthew 14, I think, and Mark something. Anyway, and in that, Herodotus's niece dances at her birthday and is so good that he offers her whatever she wants, and she demands the head of John the Baptist. That's the story this is based on. But while that, I mean, we can argue what metaphor they're going for. And it's Wilde is pretty blatant in his telling, but it's a story that in multiple versions, especially Wilde, has been just incredibly influential over the last 100 years or so. And this just kind of shits on all of it. There's no meaning, there's no message, there's no anything. I will agree with Craig. It is well shot. Some of those images are absolutely gorgeous. And then I will agree with Craig again. It is just an hour. It's a 77-minute perfume ad because nothing means anything. None of it matters. Johnny isn't preaching anything. He's just mumbling, "God loves you." And then occasionally we hear his inner thoughts, and that is just like an absolute mess. It's not even a religious mania. It is just the most basic idea of someone who doesn't even bother thinking about it deeper would think goes on in his head. And Gallo sucks. Gallo is just bad in this. He is just drifting through it looking bored and tired and not being paid enough. Nina Brosh is gorgeous, and I know I just butchered that last name, but she's terrible. She doesn't have anything. She's just flat and dull and never dances. There's no dance. There's no seduction. There's no danger or hint of anything. It's just, it needs to end this way. This is how it's going to end this way. The only two performances worth a fuck in it are Seymour Cassell as the store clerk and Louise Fletcher. And they, especially Fletcher, who was a phenomenal actress, is just, she's in like a minute, 2 minutes, and then you never see her again. She gives the most naturalistic performance in the whole fucking film. Kessel's two little asides are incredibly well acted. He doesn't say anything. They don't mean anything, but they're well done. It's just wanky. It's not even like art. It's not an art film. It's not making there's no rhetorical point here. It's just a dude thought, hey, I can I have money. I have a camera. Let's do it. And I mean, I'm not going to argue that the guy had passion in it. He went back. He refilmed like 9 years after the original debut, kept reworking it, but he doesn't come out with anything on the other side. It's just like I think the central idea of a modern day John the Baptist wandering around Hollywood is a solid one, but you need to have an understanding of John the Baptist. You need to have an understanding of his death in the stories. You need to have an understanding of what A leads to B leads to C, and it doesn't have that. It's some nice images, but like I hate perfume ads when they're 30 seconds long on my TV. 77 minutes of it is the most intolerable shit I have ever had to watch through this. I'm not a fan of this one, T. I'm just not.
Just reminded me of all the Sauvage adverts with Johnny Depp. There were loads of posters on bus stops all around the country of Sauvage, and people kept changing into sausage, and it just always really made me laugh. It's very immature, but
not gonna lie, that's what I thought of the whole time too. It's a great demo reel for whoever was the cinematographer. He got an eye, but that's like the only thing I can say about it.
You drag this out a little bit, but I just hated it. I hated it. I don't even see the slight positives that you see, Dave, or yourself, Craig. It was interminable. It was painful. It just didn't work for me in the slightest. Perhaps if there had been bigger roles for Seymour Cassell and Louise Fletcher, then that might have saved it. But you're putting a lot onto Gallo and Nina Brosh. Is that the main actress? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I written down the right name? Thank you. I like, I thought she was quite good. I've turned off Gallo over the years with him, just he's given the impression that he is as irritating and pretentious as everyone he's ever played on screen. So that's made it harder to watch, because I watch Gallo and I'm like, yeah, you're not really acting much, are you? You feel like you've just been able to recite some passages for a while and get paid for it until, someone perhaps pays for personal insemination. That is your life, you massive bellend. And yeah, I can't stand him. I mean, that does the rounds every now and again. Have you seen his advert for his semen selling?
no.
Wait, he's selling his own
No.
sperm? I have not seen this.
Oh, you haven't? Tyler will have seen it.
I have seen this, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's
You haven't bought any,
horrendous.
have you, Tyler?
I have not.
It is absolutely horrendous. Like, you need to look it up. Maybe it can be a bonus Wednesday postie, like the full text, because there's a charge, but if you're up to snuff, basically, like if you're a 10, he will offer himself offering the personal insemination service. So there's no postage and packing. He is giving you the goods there and then. I'm not.
It's $1 million fucking
I'm not
dollars.
joking. Yeah, that's the personal insemination service. Yeah.
You're pretty much
Gallo's
guaranteeing this is
sperm.
not good semen if you're selling it and applying it live.
Oh, he's
to
guaranteeing
anyone who's got money.
He's
Price
guaranteeing the
includes
fine crop.
all costs related to one attempt at in vitro fertilization of $50,000 value. If the first attempt is unsuccessful, purchaser of sperm must pay all medical costs related to additional attempts. Mr. Gallo will supply sperm for as many attempts as it takes.
It just makes me cringe. And we we are good.
500,000 for natural insemination. I'm just putting that out there.
It's less for the turkey baster. Like, we're good at separating the art from the artist. I think we have to do it a lot from what we do, but sometimes things are inevitably like tainted from just, if you see someone playing the same character again, that becomes ingrained. That is who they are. So you start to react when you see them. And Gallo, for me, has done that. And then the little that I've seen of him talking and going on off screen, it very much feeds into how he is on screen to me. And I just find that really, like, hard to watch and unenjoyable. So that was a big mark against this. As I say, even if we had more scenes focusing on Sally, the character played by Nina Brosh, I might have enjoyed this a bit more. But obviously, they were making use of Gallo in his role, and I didn't get enough respite from him. It just kept going back to him often enough that I was worn down and I was fed up. And when he's doing his thing, his acting style often feels to me as if he's one of those people that's desperately saying, "Look at me act. Watch me act. Am I great at this acting? Can't I monologue for you? Do you see me standing here monologuing for you? These are bits from the Bible. These are passages written by servants of God and Jesus, and I am saying them to you through the screen. You should bow before me, but then I should bow before you, because we're in this parasitical, mutually beneficial relationship. We are one and the same, but I'm superior because I act." That's what Gallo does. Every moment he's on screen, everywhere. I can't stand him. And Tyler, I'll thank you to keep his nonsense away from my eyes for the future.
Mr. Gallo
I
maintains.
know it's not happening.
Sorry, Mr. Gallo maintains the right to refuse sale of his sperm to those of extremely dark complexions. Though a fan of Franco Harris, Derek Jeter, Lenny Kravitz, and Lena Horne, Mr. Gallo does not want to be part of that type of integration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He'd like to use his semen to basically try and create his own little Gallo race. That's all it is. No, I know.
My God!
I know
And then
you have
the
other
Jewish
favorites
part.
with
No,
Gallo, Tyler.
this is just. Oh man! Why did you tell me about this?
I thought it was like quite a well-known thing.
I'm sure it was. It wasn't known to me though.
Notorious.
Oh shit! Or if I knew it, I forgot about it. This is okay. I'm muting myself until I'm over this.
Yeah, you. I know that Tyler will pick others that we'll have to watch. I know one day I'm gonna have to sit through the Brown Bunny again. Even though I did it once and it was torture the first time around. And I'll curse you then, Tyler, and you'll know. And I know that I'll be sitting here waiting for you to praise it. Like I'm waiting for you to praise this one right now. But I just, like, going through the films that I've actually seen Gallo in, I think like, I liked his turn in The Funeral, but that was a really good ensemble, I think, in The Funeral. So maybe that helped.
Essential Killing is a good one because he is completely mute for the for the entire runtime. That helps.
I've seen Essential Killing. I don't think I loved it. I thought it was okay. But like I quite liked Buffalo 66. But again, I think it's helped because Christina Ricci is a large part of it. It's quite the I think it's quite the well balanced two-hander compared to it being a film focused solely on Gallo, which is surprising because he directed that one, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
But I think I tend to enjoy him more when he's diluted by being part of an ensemble or with just people making a film that are doing something better than just giving him the time and space to to wax lyrical and do his acting. Even I think I quite like Palookaville that was in some time. So maybe it's just his earlier stuff. But as I say, I know that I'll get more Gallo in my life from Tyler. I've accepted that. But this one, sorry, T, I just like I really didn't like it. And yeah, it wasn't. There wasn't enough there by the end of it to make me think, wow, that was worth my time. Even if it lost me slightly, it got me back. That didn't happen. No, it just lost me and never got me again.
You might get some more Gallo from me, because I do love Freeway too.
Yes, I'll just say that. I love his turn in Freeway 2. So good.
Okay, guys. I've seen Freeway 2. We don't need to watch it again. It's no Freeway.
Well, no.
I mean, I think Matthew Bright knew he was not making Freeway. He just fucking went wild with Hansel and Gretel and fucking Vincent Gallo and a massive dong and a witch nose. It's fucking, yeah, I love that movie. We're going to definitely cover that one day. One day. Not now, but in the future. So I am a massive fan of Vincent Gallo and his films. As you guys already know, I've stated this many times over the years. I mean, I wouldn't buy his cum, but I love his movies.
Is it too expensive, or would you just not
I
want
mean,
it at all?
I mean, I personally,
not
I
for
wouldn't buy.
$1,000,000, maybe for a $25 handy in the back, but Jesus.
You could wear a vial of it around your neck like Angelina Jolie used to do.
I would
Whose
only
blood does she
buy.
wear around her neck?
Billy Bob
Yeah.
Thornton.
I would
They're-
only look. I would only buy the cum that was spit out from Chloe Sevigny's mouth into a cup, and I put it right in the thing in my shelf. But that's just because it's Chloe Sevigny.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
But yeah, I
very,
mean,
very few film performers that you can talk about and have to make the provision. Well, I wouldn't buy his cum. I like his stuff.
I mean, some people I would. I'd be like, what? I could buy Bill Paxton's cum online. Getting me some of that. Some people, sure. To have a nice little memento. Just not Vincent Gallo.
I prefer not to buy celebrities' cum, but I mean, it's just not what I want to do. But I only collect queefs in jars, Craig. I mean, you know this. It's just.
Of course.
Yeah. Let me move on from cum and queefs because it's going on for too long. Buffalo 66 was a huge gateway for me into indie cinema back when I first saw it back in like the early 2000s. It's an all-timer for me. I fucking love Buffalo 66. That and The Brown Bunny, which for me is a masterpiece. I know that movie has its naysayers, but I love The Brown Bunny dearly. Johnny 316 I'd put right there with those films. I love pretentious, self-indulgent indie movies, and I love this movie dearly. I love the way this movie was shot, like handheld, guerrilla style on the filthy streets of Hollywood Boulevard. It's grainy, raw, and seedy, and it feels like the entire thing was filmed without a single permit, which is amazing. I love the way this movie looks. I am gonna just completely echo Craig. I think this movie looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. But I love movies that look like perfume ads too. I love Terrence Malick, and all his movies look like fucking perfume ads. His later movies. But I do think it has some substance in there though. Like I feel like it does have some things to say about Christianity and religion. I'm not a religious person at all. Like I'm far from being religious. But I love films that tackle the subject, and I feel like it does have some things to say about how religion can cause like sexual repression while dealing with the feelings of temptation and desire. I'm not familiar with the play, and those themes may stem from the play, but that's what I always took from it. But the entire scene with Johnny and Sally in Johnny's apartment is one of my absolute favorite sequences, from the elevator dream to the bed. That scene is wonderful, and I love that scene so much. I could watch that scene for a half hour and be thoroughly entertained. I think it's great. I think Vincent Gallo is great here. He's doing his normal sad boy woman falling in love with him role that he's been doing for almost his entire career, and I loved his performance in this. I really love the stylistic choice of how you can hear all the thoughts in his head throughout the movie. I really like that. Nina Broche is fucking gorgeous. She is just a gorgeous woman. I think she's a model, if I'm not mistaken. I really don't think she's an actor. I think she was a model. But yeah, she's stunning, and I
She
think she's
was a
good here.
model, yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was, because she doesn't really have any credits besides this, and maybe like one other thing. But yeah, she's stunning in this, and I like her in it too. But yeah, it's a total style over substance film. But style over substance is my fucking jam, and I love self-indulgent art, and I love Vincent Gallo movies. I can't help it. So I am a fan, and we will be watching other movies of his in the future. Just I'll wait a little bit down the line, so I don't completely destroy Kevin. But maybe Trouble Every Day soon, because that is also a masterpiece, and I love that movie. I just got that on Blu-ray recently, so maybe that one.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
So good, so good, Kevin.
I got to that one late and thought I would agree with the general consensus on it, and I don't, unfortunately. But if you pick that one soon, it's it's less painful than some of the other Gallo choices, I know, and maybe my opinion will change slightly.
For now.
Dave gave us Sumo Do, Sumo Don't, the film that delivered the startling revelation that Craig has a Japanese butt, and it is all about student Shuhei Yamamoto, played by Masahiro Motokai, who, for the chance of getting the extra credit he needs for his sort of next stage in his it is a job opportunity, isn't it? It's not another level of education, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it's a job after graduation.
He's to join sort of student sumo club. There is one other member when he goes along, and they need to get people, and they hope to win something, because that would be good, as the club has not had any success for a while. That's the general gist of it. There's also a young woman to perhaps be impressed, and personal obstacles to overcome. It's a standard sports movie tale. You're wanting the underdogs to sort of learn the value of the training and the teamwork, and to hopefully come good by the time that the end credits roll. And yeah, you like, despite it being a Japanese film, and I know we will go on and on about it, but there's still quite a lot of people who are depressingly determined to say, like, oh, I don't read films, I want to watch a film, but you should just get over it and enjoy subtitle movies. But despite being a Japanese film, so it might not be watched by as many people in terms of like American viewers or British viewers who are looking for a standard sports drama, it is one I would recommend for that kind of viewing slot, because it absolutely ticks the boxes for that. Having said that, I quite enjoyed this, Dave. I don't think there's anything here that would really put people off who are looking for this kind of thing. I think the main characters are pretty good. You've got a few different types, and they're well done. I didn't keep track of her name. I liked the girl who was quite shy and came along to help them. Unfortunately, I am like Billy No Notes.
Suko, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher it. Umamoto.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I thought she was really. I know it's mainly guys in the sumo group, but I liked her being quite sort of bashful at the edges, but getting sort of more into the group as a sort of a member of the group, and kind of leading by example with her weight. That was good. But what I would say, and it's maybe on me as much as the film, like, I don't know a lot about sumo wrestling, and watching this, it obviously sort of gives you a bit of the basics, but I was hoping to learn a bit more about sumo wrestling, about the sort of the rules and the tactics. You do get a couple of sort of main things that are discussed in terms of the it's the wrong word, but I guess I'll just say tactics again. I was going to say gameplay, but you I don't think you get much, and that's good for the movie, not getting bogged down in the technical aspects and all that. But I just, I still come away from this thinking, right, so it is just, two big people and things that I now know I can't call adult nappies, just going to grab each other and push until one of them gets thrown out of the ring. That's it. And maybe that's all there is to it. But I just thought there would be a bit more. Like, even in terms of the way they actually have the competitions. Like, they explained it in the movie, but I'm still watching the movie thinking I don't know how this like makes it. I didn't, in my head, I couldn't picture any kind of league or sort of selection of other teams. They just seemed to pick people that they had to go up against, and that would take them from, third league to second league, or, second league upwards. But that was one sumo match and just fighting different opponents. So I wish in a way that I'd got a bit more to sort of to just keep being fully aware of the stakes, or where they could drop down to, or how far they could go up. And I know for the actual film, all that mattered was you wanted to see them start winning, and you wanted to see them do well for the university professor who's been trying to have faith in the sumo club for a while. Like, I do get that, but just for me, when it comes to a sports movie, I kind of like to have that extra, I guess, context, if you know what I mean.
This seems quite typical, though, of a sports movie. I don't think sports movies ever go to any trouble to explain the sport to you.
Yeah, you're asking for
to,
more than you would any other sports movie. Just
they
putting
tend
that
to
out there.
assume a level of knowledge.
I did say it could be as much with me as it is with the movie. I guess maybe, like, I'm not a sports person, but I would know more, say, for like football, but then I wouldn't necessarily know more about American football. But you kind of, you'll probably get the montage of where they're going up, up the league table, or when there's playoffs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's just that. It's just because even compared to those other sports that I don't know about, I know so little about sumo. Like, I don't know if it is actually usually a team that's going up the rankings, or if it's one wrestler. So that team goes, and eventually the team is whittled away, and one wrestler is at the top of the rankings. Do you know what I mean? But it is as much kind of my fault as it is something I'm seeing as a failing of the movie, because I know so little of it. But that's all. And I think, as I say, with what the movie is doing, I think they do enough that you know what they are wrestling for and what they've got going on for their personal stakes. So other people might not be bothered by that at all, because the film gives you everything that it needs to give you for that story. I just felt it was lacking that kind of, that slightly bigger view that I would either automatically have for sports movies where I'm more familiar with the sport, or that sports movies can give with the the odd cheeky extra montage in there. So I enjoyed this. I thought it was a good balance. It is mainly focused on the drama and the sport, but there are some nice moments of gentle humor there, and particularly with folk not wanting to necessarily always be caught in the traditional sumo wrestling gear. But I didn't love it. I just kind of enjoyed it, and it was a blessed relief for me after Johnny 316. I did have a nightmare at one point last week where I was watching a sumo movie where Vincent Gallo was wrestling Vincent Gallo, and they were both wearing the traditional gear, and that's a film that I hope is never made. If Tyler ever gets his hand on like AI tools, then we're all fucked. But sorry, Dave. I think you're a big fan of this one, and I quite enjoyed it. I think I don't know if we have the series available here in the UK, but I know they've done a series, and like I was thinking if I had time for it, it might work better for me in the series form.
In 2022, there was a spin-off series where most of the cast shows up from the movie. Yeah, Disney made it.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know where it is.
might be tucked away there. I can't remember if when I did look it up. In fact, this is exciting podcasting stuff. Let me just have a look right now. But I did want to, as I say, I did want to be a bigger fan of it because I know you are a big fan of it. But it was enjoyable. Like I didn't love it. Also, the series isn't on Disney Plus here in the UK at the moment.
Boo.
Was that for Disney Plus or my opinion?
That was for Disney Plus. I would never boo your opinion. I might vehemently disagree, but I'd never boo your opinion. That was for Disney. Fucking Disney.
Going into this, I thought I was genuinely in for some like goofy ass shit. I mean, the title really does it no favors. It sounds like fucking Ricky O by way of Dr. Seuss or something, but that's not what this movie is at all. Thank God. It's a good little sports movie, which surprised the hell out of me. I mean, it's charming, has a solid cast of characters. It's pretty funny and has a lot of heart too. But it's the kind of heart that's not layered in like thick sentimentality, which is weird because that's what most of these sports movies do. And that's not a knock on the sports movies that do that, because I do love sports movies and I love sports movies that layer on thick sentimentality. But this one doesn't do that, which is surprising. And look, I may have the title of cocksweep of Raiders, but Dave went all out with them booty cheeks here, though. I mean, there is just so much ass in this movie. I mean, it's family friendly ass, but tons of ass all the same. Just tons of sumo wrestler ass in this movie. But look, normally this wouldn't be a comedy that I would seek out. Like, these really aren't the kind of jokes that I like, but they actually work within the context of this cute little sports movie about sumo wrestling. So yeah, it's cute, and I enjoyed it. It's not like one of my favorites, but you know, I enjoyed it while it was on. It's just a cute little movie about sumo wrestling.
Yeah, I really like this one as well. I was going to say, you know, if you exclude Tyler because he's a mysterious and unknowable outlier, and you never know what he's going to think about a film. You know, I can't really imagine anyone not enjoying Sumo Do, Sumo Don't. I just can't picture it. Like, I think I'd back away from them slowly if I met someone who didn't enjoy this film. That's a sort of degenerate mindset we're talking about. You know, I just get away from me. Like, I think this movie has like one flaw, and I do that in, you know, in quotation marks, because its only flaw, I think, is it's formulaic as hell, and kind of thank God, you know, like, you can do some ironic, subversive, postmodern, convention breaking on your own time. But with movies like this, like, you know, feel good movies about a bunch of misfits teaming up, beating the odds, what I want from that is I want comfort, and I want this kind of purity that is in this film. Like, if you surprise me even once in a film like this, I'm going to have a tantrum. Like, I'm going to pitch a fit. Don't give me even a hint of a surprise. Give me what I want from this fucking movie. And Sumo Do, Sumo Don't, it just does everything it needs to do. And does it so well. Like, the cast are fucking great. Just the most adorable group of misfits. I can't even pick a favourite. Like, Aoki Anayama, Refrigerator was an early favourite. Tanaka, it's probably Tanaka. I did love that guy, but they are all my precious babies, and I love them. The story just unfolds so well. You got the team bonding, you got the training sequences, you got the tournament scenes, which are genuinely fucking tense. Like that last tournament, my fists were clenched, my teeth were clenched. I literally punched the air multiple times on my own in my bedroom.
Me
Like
too.
it just gets you so invested in these characters individually and as a team. So by the time that third act comes around, it's like you're part of the team. It just it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, it does everything a film of its type needs to do. Does it perfectly, and I think still has some like extra layers to it. I do think it's got other stuff on interesting stuff on its mind. Like mostly it's the nature of tradition. There's lots of stuff here about tradition, the good, the bad, the sense of belonging, the intransigence sometimes of tradition. How traditions need to be actively practiced in order to be preserved, otherwise they get consigned to history. How something that can feel fundamentally absurd to one person can carry such like cultural significance to another person due to the history of it and the heritage, and it can be both equally. You can have this thing like sumo, which is both culturally significant and absurd. And this film, like in the very first speech you see in the film, it really sells that idea. And I think it has little interesting ideas on its mind that it plays with throughout. Your standard enjoyable misfits do a thing sports movie. It's just a fun fucking movie about dudes getting their balls crushed and getting diarrhea and then beating the odds together despite crushed balls and chronic diarrhea. And I highly recommend it. This one's a bit of a blast. I had a really good time. And like I said, this is a type of movie where you don't want surprises. I don't care if it's formulaic. It's giving me what I want. It's giving me just a beautiful home cooked meal, and I just had a great time with it.
Well, I'm glad one of you still has a soul. I would go so far, and I don't mean this is like hyperbole or anything, because like I do know I am prone to hyperbole when I say things like, that was the worst thing I've ever fucking seen. How dare you make me fucking watch that? Or, it's just selling you faux feminine. Like I lean into hyperbole. I did it earlier when talking about The Bride a little. I still agree with what I said, but I was hyperbolic. But I have no hyperbole when I say I think this is one of the best sports films ever made. It's not maudlin. It's not overtly sentimental. It is a gentle, well-done comedy film about Masahiro Motoko, the guy that directed this. This was his bread and butter. He made gentle, optimistic movies about nonconformists doing and deeply enjoying things that they shouldn't in rigid Japanese culture. And all of his films are great for it. I had not seen Sumo Do, Sumo Don't before this week, and it is now one of my all-time favorites. It's one of my favorite movies that I've seen for this podcast. But the rest of his work, I fully encourage people to go look out for. Shall We Dance is absolutely no. Wait. Yeah, Shall We Dance is absolutely fantastic. Lady Mayako is really good. Fancy Dance is great. It's just the man made some really good movies about off-kilter people doing off-kilter things and loving it. And like I will say, I think like they could, the first like 20 minutes could probably be consolidated a little bit. But when it gets going, when they start training and actually, like, it is as involving as any other sports film I have ever seen. It is about, you totally get immersed and get into their struggles. So when it gets to the finale, it does feel like there's weight, and it does feel like there's something on the line, and Yeah, I adored it. I know I've just said that a few times over and over in different ways of gushing praise, but it is one worth looking up. There's a new Vinegar Syndrome release with this and Fancy Dance on it, and it is totally worth grabbing. Unfortunately, I think any other way to see this is a little bit iffier in the West, and that's a shame because it is something special. So that's 2 great sports movies I've brought you guys over the years. No appreciation. It's time to pick one. And if you didn't know, like if you couldn't guess from the words I just said, for me, it's Sumo Do, Sumo Don't.
Because this is a film podcast and not a, pretentious art piece podcast, I'm going to give it to the one that worked best for me as a film, which is Sumo Do, Sumo Don't. But I'm with you a lot of the way with Johnny 316, Tyler. It's a gorgeous looking fucking movie.
Yeah, it's Johnny 316 for me, but I did like Sumo Do, Sumo Don't. It was cute.
I vote for Sumo Do, Sumo Don't. And to be fair to Tyler, Johnny 316 can burn in a fiery depth of hell forever. but some folk may like it.
All right,
I'm imagining this pile of DVDs of this film just shoved away with loads of like little containers of semen in Vincent Gallo's bedroom. Does nobody want my semen and Johnny 316? I'm giving the semen away with the film. Come on. Help me out.
Next week. Next week, it's Kevin and Craig picking. And our special this month is stop motion. Kevin, do you have a stop motion movie for us?
I do.
Nice.
I am going for Memoir of a Snail.
Okay.
And what do you guys have for us just regularly next week?
I got to check whether we've done this film before, because I feel like we did a silent movie special. Have we covered The Passion of Joan of Arc?
Not that I remember.
No, we talked about it, but
No, I
on
don't
that one,
think
we
so.
haven't actually discussed it.
You're lucky then, because I am going to go with the 1928 silent film masterpiece, The Passion of Joan of Arc. And if we'd already covered that, we would have been watching something else, which I will keep secret and lined up for another time.
Well, I am going to prove that Dave is not the only one who can bring enjoyable, cliched sports comedy dramas to the podcast and bring you 2001's Stickmen.
Remember that Stickmen with one word for the movie.
Yes.
Hey, T? If you put a space, you're going to get the prog rock band. Celebrate my win by giving him the business.
We're on Instagram, Raiders_of_the_ podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesdays and maybe a Saturday. You never know. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and comment and watch Kevin's awesome videos. We have a Discord. We have a Blue Sky. And you can always email us at raidersofthepodcast@gmail.com. Also, bless you, my child.
Nice. As always.
Did you pass the thing did you post the thing in the last couple of minutes? I'm trying to check.
I did.
Did you, Tyler?
Yes,
There it is. I know, 34 minutes ago. 34 minutes.
You're on about a Facebook post or a self-addressed envelope to Vincent Gallo for a semen purchase.
Some of your cum, Gallo. Just sell it to me. I want it.
Just give it to him for free. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, see you next week, guys.